Ben Affleck breaks his silence about J-Lo, but more importantly, finally discusses that infamous documentary. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore. Before we covered Blake Lively, we covered the J-Lo Jernnifer debate. In fact, this video, which you have not yet watched, you should. I'm going to put a little iCard up. You can watch it. You can watch it at the end of this video as well. Nearly 1 million people watched this video. There was a point where all of us were so fascinated with this Jernnifer drama. And I had to do this follow-up because he's finally opening up about it all the drama during that period. He has a new movie out, The Accountant 2, which, by the way, The Accountant 1 I rewatched. It's a lot better than I remembered. I highly recommend. It's a good thriller Ben Affleck did, and I'm happy to see him come back and do a sequel. But what we're really here to talk about, he's promoting The Accountant, smart move to have us talking about J-Lo again as The Accountant 2 comes out. But he opens up in this GQ article about J-Lo, about the separation. But where things get really interesting is he does specifically talk about the greatest love story ever told, which, again, absolutely was crazy. I watched it so you don't have to. There's a 33-minute, I had to fight Amazon, and J-Lo tried to shut this video down. Again, I'll put it at the end. You can watch it in its entirety. It's one of my popular ones. I like it because I go through and really show you some of the parts that really, in my opinion, why the relationship didn't work. That's how I'll say it nicely. And he specifically, I feel like he's speaking to me and anybody else who had these comments, because he actually brings it up in this GQ article, which was a fascinating read. I do like Ben Affleck. I like when he opens up. He's almost too honest at times. And he talks about it right in the beginning. Like, I feel like there's reports every day. My house is burning down, all these things. My house did not burn down. He talks about the FBI. Some people like to follow the soap opera, and that soap opera is actually independent of a movie you might make or be in. They're interested in just the general soap opera, and you become a character in that soap opera. You don't write it, you don't direct it, you don't even know you're in it, but you are. He's right. He's right. And a lot of the reporting we do, it sums it all up. So I wanted to go through this article and react fairly about it, because here's his response to the soap opera, to our reporting, to everybody's reactions. He mentions the fact that, yeah, there was a report a while back that the FBI showed up to his house. He explains and like, yeah, they did, and I didn't know until I saw in the tabloids. So I called them and figured out, and they responded, oh yeah, we had no idea that was your house. There was a break-in at the federal official's home in that area. So we went around and just asked whoever lived there if they had anything or had any photographs. And that was ultimately what it is. But he talks about, yeah, but the story is out there about, yep, FBI's at my house, must be Diddy list, et cetera, is how the world goes off and goes on these tangents. Now, getting to the actual parts about J-Lo, about Jennifer Garner, all the drama. We're going to get to documentary segment, but building it up. He talks about sort of just the fact that he goes out and picks up his FedEx packages or his coffee deliveries, and how some people don't do that. I'm definitely aware of the cosmic joke of it all. About being frustrated with the parking meter, etc. What I've ended up focusing on is, look, I know what's going on in my life. Also, really more importantly, my kids know. We used to have a thing, my ex-wife and I, when we would see something on a supermarket stand, we would say, well, you know, this isn't always true, because if it were, you would have 15 brothers or sisters or whatever the number of stories is where they said that your mom was pregnant. And I'm really lucky that I have a really great co-parent and partner in Jennifer Garner, the kid's mom, who's wonderful and great. We work together well, and it's more of a headache than anything else. And certainly worse things I've yet to figure out why I'm the object of. You don't have a theory? Well, I think I don't present in a very careful way, he says. So I'll go out and pick up the package deliveries that don't really care if people take my picture. And some are probably, I guess you call them smarter or more strategic, because they think, well, I don't want to be seen wearing some t-shirt or spilling some drink. And I just think, oh, F it, man. I could give a crap. I just want to get the coffee. Good for Ben. I agree. So maybe that's part of it. Maybe people aren't accustomed to a more presented, curated image, like J-Lo, like Meghan Markle, like Blake Lively. But he doesn't care about that. My life is actually pretty drama-free. And so even if I have the same events that people have, I'm sure in your mind you're thinking, oh, well, you just got divorced. That's not drama-free. I understand that's your instinct, but all this is pretty adult. And for all the sensational stuff that gets written, if somebody sat down and talked to me about it and I said, well, this is really the experience, their eyes would glaze over with boredom. Now we're getting into the greatest love story and everything else, but I want to react to this look, I do believe him, but I think he's also underrepresenting the fact that J-Lo feeds the press a lot, especially about him. And he's being more humble and I think appropriate, and not, attacking her over that and just playing it like, look, I don't pay attention to it. It's all part of the game. It's not the reality. It's not his reality. So it is what it is. But there's, I'm sure, drama there regarding J-Lo. Now the reporter goes, you know what I'm thinking right now, actually? You did just get divorced from J-Lo. And there's a scene in that documentary she put out called The Greatest Love Story Never Told. Really, there's more than one scene, actually. There's a lot. The entire premise of the film is like, she's like, we're private people, but we have public dimensions as artists, and I'm about to put out a lot of us out there. And you're on camera, and your face is revealed to you as, I'm only guessing, but it looks like you're taking a deep breath, like, oh, F, here we go again. But also, I love and support this person. I know exactly what part they're talking about. And yes, 100%. You can tell he does love and supports her, but he's also just so annoyed to be there. And she's so frustrating and narcissistic to deal with, which he's not going to say out loud. But here's his response. Part of it was, okay, if I'm going to participate in this, I want to try and do it in an honest way and in a way that's interesting, because I thought it was an interesting examination. Like I mentioned to you before, there are a lot of people who think I handle celebrity more adeptly and more adroitly than I have. Jernnifer among them. My temperament is to be a little bit more reserved and private than hers. As happens in relationships, you don't always have the same attitude towards these things. Agreed. And so I thought, oh, this is interesting, because how do you reconcile that? Because exactly what you said is true. I love and support this person. I believe in them. They're great. I want people to see that. And I think the thing that I said in that documentary, or the piece that they used, was where I said, you don't marry a ship captain and then say, well, I don't like going out in the water. Again, another moment I specifically remember and called out. He's right. It was a part that I remember looking at and going, he's got a point. You've got to own what you knew going into any relationship. Well said, mature take. And I think it's important to say that this wasn't the cause of some major fracture. It's not like you can watch that documentary and go, oh, now I understand the issues that these two had. Ben, I appreciate you being more adult and mature about it all, not calling her out. But Ben, I'll do it for you. Go watch it, guys, if you haven't already watched it, because it absolutely is part of it. Now, they go in and talk about some more stuff about his artist equity, which is a cool company. It helps spread the profits with all of the crew and cast, unlike most studios would ever do. Now, continuing to go through as we read some of this. Now, he talks about, sorry, this is part, he wants to spend more time with his kids. How he's deciding to spend that life is more by being with them. Oh, here it is. Sorry, I had the wrong tab up. So they talk, and then they meet a few days later. And as they meet, how's the last conversation sitting? He comes back to that part about the documentary because he knows that's going to be what everybody runs with, which they did. So he knows, oh, crap, I stepped in it. Well, on one hand, there's the first feeling, which is like, well, I hope I was clear about when you asked me about Jen and the documentary, and I talked about that in my sort of personal life a little bit, which I don't mind doing as long as my actual feelings and intentions and beliefs are communicated, which I hope I was clear that really this is somebody I have a lot of respect for, J-Lo. And I get wanting to divide or explore the kind of differences in perspective that we have in terms of how a person feels comfortable approaching the line between public and private life. But I really hope that whatever you use doesn't suggest that I have any negativity or judgment or anything regarding that. I have nothing but respect. I guess there's a tendency to look at breakups and want to identify root causes or something. But honestly, like I said, the truth is much more quotidian than probably people would believe or be interesting. I had to look up quotidian. Everyday, daily, ordinary, mundane. That's what quotidian means. Quotidian in the sense that there's not some major thing. Yeah, there's no scandal, no soap opera, no intrigue. The truth is, when you talk to somebody, hey, what happened? Well, this is what happened. It's just a story about people trying to figure out their lives and relationships in ways that we all sort of normally do. And as you get older, this is true for me. I assume it's true for most people. There is no so-and-so did this. I mean, unless so-and-so did that. This was the big event. I mean, sometimes there are, Ben. So it really sounds more like a couples therapy session, which you would tune out someone else's couples therapy after a while. He's right about that. For one thing, you start going, okay, clearly this person has got these issues. Clearly they have these issues. And the reason I don't want to share that is just sort of embarrassing. It feels vulnerable. So, okay, I like that because he is pretty much acknowledging, yeah, they got issues. That's valid. We all do. she's clearly got issues, Ben, and they were all clearly documented in the documentary, which shows itself. So look, I applaud him. He waded into the waters. He's admitting it was a thing. He's making it clear he supported and respected her, which I do believe. I do believe that's true. And so the rest of the article is pretty interesting. Just talks about the memes, and he does go into the film, which I'm looking forward to. I'm going to promote it here because I like the first one. Go check it out. Go support his new film. And I applaud him sort of addressing and trying to be careful about it and making it clear, like, I'm not here to be negative about her or start a bunch of drama. He's probably a little afraid because she does know how to use the machine. That is the PR, People magazine, etc. And so now that he's out there sort of responding in a way, she may come out with more of her own. But I felt like he handled it very fairly, very respectfully, and she should too. So look, it looks like these two are finally maturing. There's been a lot of reports that Ben's cozying up too much to Jennifer Garner. We've seen him now hugging and almost like nuzzling her. Jennifer Garner's married with a new dude. It is the mother of his kids, but what's going on there? They seem to be very close. And Ben's pretty much admitting that now his priority in life is being there for his kids. That's why he's taken more of a 9-to-5 job with this artist equity company. So what's going to happen? What's the future hold? Stay tuned. What do you think of Ben's article here? Did you read the whole thing? Are you a fan of him? Are you more of a fan of J-Lo? I want to hear your thoughts down below. Do you think he really means all this? Hit the bell for all alerts. Press that thumbs up as well. Do you think he really has no drama left towards J-Lo in this doc? Or do you think he's being very smart in how he's tiptoeing around it respectfully? In the meanwhile, if you haven't seen it, here it is. I'm going to put it at the end screen. Go watch it. It should be there. The big box on the left. If you haven't yet watched that one, enjoy it. It's a doozy. Thanks so much for watching. We'll be live later today. I hope to see you guys there.